man, in order to take revenge for his dead daughter, directly put the female killer into a box. Then he opened the valve. A black liquid flowed out. He then covered it with the floorboards. That way, he could avoid being discovered. After finishing all of this, he appeared on the street as if nothing had happened. However, what he didn't expect was that it was precisely this action that caught the attention of a group of thieves. After confirming that Jack was blind, they decided to break into his house at 3 a.m. that night. First, they threw out sausages laced with sleeping drugs. This successfully made the dog guarding the door lose consciousness completely. Then they arrived at the door and tried to use a remote to disable the house alarm system. Unexpectedly, the remote failed at that moment. Suddenly, Annie looked up and found a way to get in, so she smashed a window with a hammer and then crawled into the house. Not only did she immediately disable the alarm, but she also opened the front door for her teammates, in order to avoid making any noise. They all took off their shoes. Then they started searching for the most valuable items in the house. After searching for several hours, they still couldn't find anything valuable. Meanwhile, another teammate went to Jack's room, intending to use homemade sleeping gas to knock Jack out. But to his surprise, Jack had somehow already sat up. Startled, Alan held his breath and stood frozen at the side of the bed, not daring to move a muscle. Fortunately, Jack had only gotten up to turn off the TV. Once Jack slowly lay back down again, Alan dared to place the bottle and loosen the small hole in the cap. After finishing that, he resumed his search for valuables. At this point, Annie pointed to the door lock in front of her. Alan quickly and skillfully took out a crowbar from his bag. He jammed it into the lock and pulled hard, but the lock just wouldn't open. Alan seemed to sense that something valuable must be hidden behind it. He directly pulled a handgun out of his bag. Tom, who saw this from beside him, became very nervous. Bringing a firearm during a theft would seriously change the nature of the crime. If Jack found out, he could kill them on the spot and wouldn't have to face any legal consequences. But no matter how his teammates tried to stop him, Alan remained unmoved. With a loud gunshot, the lock fell off. Seeing Alan act so recklessly, Tom decided to leave immediately. But just as Alan opened the door, the supposedly sleeping Jack suddenly appeared next to him. Faced with Jack scolding, Alan relied on the gun in his hand and kept loudly threatening Jack to hand over all his money. But Alan didn't know what this man feared the least was death.